Hello folks, and welcome back to my channel. We are continuing our studio etiquette series today, and this time we're talking about negative feedback. What happens when we go into a studio, we get a piercing done, and something doesn't go the way we hoped or intended? Maybe the piercing doesn't turn out in a way we like, maybe we don't like the placement, maybe the angle is off, maybe we just have a bad experience, maybe we have a misunderstanding with the person up front, or there's a problem with the booking. How do we handle it when something goes wrong? How do we handle it when we have negative feedback for a studio? This video was inspired because I had actually two different interactions over the last couple of months. One was someone who reached out to me. They had gotten a piercing done at a studio and they messaged me for some feedback about the piercing and the placement. And I agreed with some concerns that they had, that it wasn't really placed super ideal for the anatomy, and that there were definitely some issues with the piercing. And they were like, I don't know what to do. I did a lot of research. I went to a really good APP member studio. I paid a lot of money for it. And now I'm just not super satisfied with the overall result. And my advice for this person was I would get back in touch with the studio and let them know what happened. Now, I understand that that sort of confrontation or interaction or feedback can be really intimidating for a lot of people, but there's a few things that I want folks to know. First is that piercers are only human, right? We are only human. We are not perfect. We are not robots. We are not machines. We are not AI. We are going to make mistakes. Hairstylists make mistakes. Mechanics make mistakes. Doctors and surgeons make mistakes. There's no person or career on this earth where people are perfect all of the time, always. And a really good piercer understands and acknowledges that. Here is a set of forward-facing nostrils that I posted on Instagram a while back, and I posted them specifically because I had to pierce them twice. We marked them, we measured them, we were happy with our marks, we did the piercings, the client went home, and a few days later messaged me and was like, I just feel like the right one is a smidge higher than the left one, and I'm just not happy with how it's sitting. And we took it out and we let it heal and we re-pierced it just a smidge lower, and my client was much happier. And I'm incredibly grateful that that client reached out to me, okay? These were a really tricky pair of high nostrils. We spent so long marking, nobody's nose is perfectly symmetrical. Some people's noses, have different ridges or different shapes or different structures. This is a really tricky set of piercings. Forward-facing nostrils in general, I feel like are really tricky to get perfectly even just because there are so many different structures on the nose to think about. But I'm so glad that this client reached out because I understand that I am only human. I understand that I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to have piercings that come out off. I'm going to have miscommunications with clients. These things happen, and I am so grateful to be given the opportunity to remedy them when they occur. I think a hallmark of a really good piercer is not pretending that they never make mistakes or they're perfect and piercings they do never come out wrong, but being honest that mistakes are things that do happen, that sometimes things come out not the way we intend, and being prepared and ready to fix them. Anyone who has gotten their septum pierced by me in the last 3 years who has a deviated septum knows that I have given them a speech before I pierce them, letting them know that there is a non-zero chance that this comes out in a way that we're not both super stoked on, and I end up wanting to make an adjustment. And I say this to every single deviated septum I pierce because I know that deviations are difficult, because I know that there is a limit to how well I am able to assess the tissue and cartilage of the nose just by touch and the limited amount that I can see. And I know that I want the opportunity to correct it if something doesn't lay totally perfect, especially on a septum. So I have these conversations every single time because I understand that there is that human element. So first of all, I would say a really good piercer knows that mistakes happen, and wants to work with you and wants to be given the opportunity to fix it. The other thing is that very often there's just simply miscommunications or poor fits when it comes to how people work together, right? I've had interactions where I've had clients come back in the piercing room and be like, your front of house staff was so rude and so difficult to work with. And I'm like, oh my God, in what way? What happened? And clients will be like, I was trying to look at this particular piece of jewelry or ask this question about this thing, and they weren't helping me, or they weren't answering me, or something was going wrong. And I'll get to the root of it, and it'll turn out to have been a complete misinterpretation. For example, I had a client once come in, this was an older woman who wanted jewelry for a triangle piercing. She came up to the counter, she was like, I'm looking for jewelry for a triangle piercing, and was very irate that our front of house staff kept showing her big chunky circular circulars and captives and like big segment rings. And she was like, it wasn't what I was looking for at all. I felt like no one was listening to me. No one was respecting me. No one was understanding what I was asking for. Like, your front of house was just totally ignorant. Well, it turns out when she said triangle, she meant a triangular stack of lobe piercings. And she wanted to be shown really teeny tiny. Well, triangle piercing is a genital piercing on a vulva that normally wears very thick rings. So when she came in and asked to see jewelry for a triangle, my front of house did the right thing and showed her the right rings. She just didn't understand she was asking for a different, that there was something else called a triangle piercing. And so I explained the miscommunication in the back. We had a good laugh about it. She came back up front and she apologized to the front of house for being like getting so curt with them. And, you know, we all had a good chuckle about the misinterpretation. But if she hadn't have spoken up, if she had just left the studio and been like, oh, this place sucks, everyone here is bad, we never would have come to the understanding that there was just like a genuine, honest miscommunication happening here. And once we figured it out, we showed her all of the pieces she was looking for and she found the pieces she wanted and it was great. But without her speaking up and like letting us know this feedback, we weren't able to like get to the bottom of that. I also want to name that sometimes when the negative feedback we have to give to a studio is less about the technicalities of something, like I'm not happy with this placement, I'm not happy with this angle, and more about just like having an interaction that's difficult. That's a great thing about studios having multiple staff members and multiple piercers. I've definitely worked in studios where like my personality and the way that I work has not been great for every client. For example, I like to do slower work when I pierce. I like to really take my time and like talk through every little thing. I like to be really in depth. I'm a little bit more strict about like what I'll use to start for certain placements and all of these things. And for certain clients, that's amazing. But for certain clients, it's really annoying and they don't want to go over everything every time. They're like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I need. I just want to come in, maybe shoot the shit a little bit, get my thing and leave. And my personality can be very over-explanatory and very technical in a way that like they don't vibe with, or people read it as like speaking down to them, which is never my intention. And I always do my best to explain in like a simple and straightforward way. But regardless, I know as a neurodivergent femme that I come off this way. And so those are clients who oftentimes have better experiences with my other coworkers or with other piercers. And when they let me know, like, I just didn't really like these elements of our interaction, I can say, you know what? I actually think you're gonna have a really great time with Colin. I think you should go and see Angie at Bury Me in Gold. I think like her style and approach to piercing is gonna be exactly what you're looking for. And we can be honest that like, not everyone's personalities are going to vibe. I saw a dermatologist last year who is a very good, very accredited, board certified dermatologist, understands all of the conditions I was coming in with. Our personalities did not align at all. I like to ask a lot of questions. I like to know all of the things. And she very much like is here to do the work, explain briefly, and then let the nurses do everything else. And that's not a way that I like working in medicine. I like taking my time a little bit more with my doctors. I understand for some people, they don't want to sit around in a medical office for a super long time. So her style of like come in, do the assessment, relay the information, leave is probably really great, especially for a lot of like busy office work, like on the go people in my city. It's just not what works for me. I like a slower pace. So even though she's a really skilled and really talented dermatologist, I'm not going to be seeing her for future work. That's not anything against her. I don't think that makes her a bad doctor. Our personalities just don't really align super well. So the other thing is that sometimes the piercer or maybe even tattoo artist or front of house person you're working with, maybe that's just not a personality alignment that's super awesome for you. And when you give that feedback to a studio, they might be able to make the suggestion of, you know what, we have this other staff member who's really great who you could maybe work with. Or maybe they know a piercer across town or someone else in your area that's going to be a better fit. But either way, they can try and help you out and get you there. Now, part of what made me want to make this video is, like I said, I had two interesting interactions with people recently. The first was that client who reached out to that APP member studio, and guess what? They handled it awesome. They apologized. They had a higher up piercer take a look and agree that something was off with the placement. They set this person up with a really quick appointment to see a different piercer to have things corrected. The original piercer apologized and acknowledged that they should have done a correction at the time. We're sorry that they didn't. And the client ended up leaving feeling really well taken care of. They weren't charged for any of the corrections. corrections. The studio really rolled out the red carpet to make things right. And everyone at every step of the way took the time to say, thank you for reaching out to us. We really appreciate this. We take these concerns seriously. We're sorry that this came out this way and we want to make it right for you. They handled it with integrity, with grace. Just a really incredible example of like how we handle it when mistakes happen, right? Because mistakes are going to happen. They're always going to happen. It's not about them not happening. It's about how we handle it when we do. So that client reaching out and giving that negative feedback, super helpful, and ended up with them feeling like an even more loyal client to that studio because this issue was handled so incredibly well. Now, the other circumstance that made me want to write about this was a similar thing. Client reached out to me having issues with a piercing they had done. I took a look, definitely agreed. There was inappropriate aftercare. There was inappropriate jewelry used. There were a lot of issues with what was going on there. Client reached out to said artist about like this and what had happened. And artist immediately went, well, you didn't take care of it properly. You didn't do what you're supposed to. Your skin is just bad for piercing. I never make mistakes. I've never had a client have this issue in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone. Don't message me anymore. You're not welcome here. Just kind of like freaked out on this client for coming to them with an issue and immediately blamed the client. Didn't take any accountability for like using the incorrect jewelry or not giving the client thorough and comprehensive aftercare or any of the other things that happened in the situation. Immediately blamed them, was immediately really rude. Like the language was very harsh. And I get that this is potentially the outcome that scares people and is why people don't want to reach out. But you know what? Now that client knows that person's true colors. Now that client knows, okay, this is someone that I do not want to trust with my body. This is someone that doesn't respect my body, doesn't take it seriously what they're doing. And now I never have to see them again. I'm never going to patron them again. I'm never going to go back to that shop. I'm never going to deal with this person. Now they've shown me how they are and how they handle these situations. I know I don't want to work with them and I can go find someone better and safer and more reputable that I can work with and go from there. And that's the thing. Again, it's not that mistakes are never going to happen. There's no one in any career on this earth that can say that they are perfect and never make a mistake. It's about how we handle it when we do. A really good or safe or reputable piercer is going to want to make it right. They're going to want to correct things. They're going to want to explain things and hold space for this and really do right by you. A crappy piercer or a crappy artist is not going to care. They're not going to try and make anything right. They're going to try and blame you about it. Maybe they'll throw a tantrum about it. And then their true colors will really be revealed. And obviously, we hope that mistakes don't happen, right? I never want a mistake to happen during a piercing. Nothing fills me with like a worse sense of like dread and shame and frustration than like doing a piercing and stepping back and going like, I'm gonna have to make a correction or an adjustment here, right? But it happens. And even in those moments, I still take the step to make the correction or make the adjustment or do that. And like that is, I think, really all we can ask, right? My hairstylist who I've been seeing since I moved to Seattle, who is amazing, just touched up my hair, super bright and fresh. I have some burns on my scalp from this last session. We did a new formulation of lightener that just like did not work for my head. And even when I was getting my hair done, I expressed that like I was feeling a pretty intense burning sensation. It was not how it normally felt. Am I gonna break up with my stylist over this? No. Mistakes happen. I addressed it with them. They apologized. They acknowledged. They made a note in my file to not use that formulation again. And they've already reached out to me brainstorming new products and new formulations we're going to use that are gentle for my scalp. They saw a mistake. They acknowledged it. They corrected it. They're already moving to make sure that it doesn't happen again. That's all we can ask of people. So if you find yourself in a situation where you've had an unpleasant or an uncomfortable experience at a studio, I really encourage you to reach back out and give them the opportunity to make it right and make your final judgment call, not based off the fact that they made a mistake, but how they handle the mistake that they made. Now, one caveat to that, obviously, if the mistake is like they're super horrible to you and they're like racist or homophobic or they were unclean or dirty, well, like, then don't feel stressed about giving them the chance, right? But I mean, if you're seeing a good piercer, if you're seeing an APP member, if you're seeing a reputable piercer, if they're doing all of these things right and something just comes out that you're not totally happy with, or you feel like you're having a miscommunication with the staff, give them the opportunity to correct it and make it right. And again, pass your judgment based off of how they do that. If you're feeling this way after getting pierced, my advice would be to sit down and to write out an email or an Instagram message or DM if that's the preferred method of contact, and write out like what it is that you aren't happy about, whether it's placement, angle, whatever. If it's something with the piercing, send pictures. That always helps. If it's something with like the interaction, just write out like what you experienced, what you felt. You know, if there's specific things that you are looking for in repair, like if an angle's off, you're like, can we re-pierce it and correct it? If it was a negative interaction, are you interested in working with another staff member? Are you interested in like maybe changes to their training or how they do or word certain things? And go ahead and send that email. And I think having it in writing is really nice. It allows us to like take the time to really think through what we want to say and not be super emotional sometimes in what we're saying. It allows it to be like read and processed and responded to in a way that elicits a really good response. It also means that you don't have to go back in person. And I think like going back in person with negative feedback can be really intimidating for a lot of people. So the opportunity to write it and send it might feel a little bit safer. And again, judge the studio based off of how they respond, and how they handle it and how they deal with these things. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that negative or bad interactions don't happen at studios. They do. But I think we should measure studios and piercers on how they handle it when it does, rather than this sense of like people online pretending that they're perfect and they never have mistakes happen and things never go wrong, when that's just not reality. So if you've ever had a negative experience at a studio, I'm very sorry. If it was an extremely negative experience, you absolutely did not deserve that, and I'm so sorry. But if it was a slightly negative experience or something coming out wrong, I hope you gave the piercer the opportunity to make it right and allowed them to show you their true colors and how they would handle these things. And obviously, I hope nothing bad happens during your piercings in the future, but if it does, I hope this video potentially gives you new ideas about how to handle it and how to communicate with the studios. This type of feedback is how we learn and grow. I'm eternally grateful for the clients who have been comfortable enough to give me this feedback, to come back to me, and of course, who give me the opportunity to make it right when I do make a mistake. That's truly, that level of grace is all I could ask for, and I am humbled and honored by folks who would trust me, even when things don't go the way we wanted them to. It means the world to me. Thanks so much for sitting down and hanging out for this one. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk with y'all next week. Bye.